Hi everyone, I just wanted to talk about this, the brand new release, John Lennon's Imagine album here, and there are a whole bunch of variations of this, ranging from black vinyl to clear vinyl. There's a smaller set that has, I think, 2 CDs in it, I think. This particular one, I think, is the biggest one here. It's called the Ultimate Edition, and this Ultimate Edition has 2 Blu-rays and 4 CDs. And when I say Blu-rays, I don't mean to be misleading. There is unfortunately no visual material on here, no films, nothing like that. It's all audio, Blu-ray audio. And I have not played the Blu-ray audio only because I don't have a dedicated system. If I was going to play the Blu-ray, it would be in my Blu-ray player with my television speakers for the sound coming through. I don't have a dedicated home theater system or anything to really do it justice. So I'm going to be addressing all the contents here, and this is basically nothing definitive, but just to show you what's in this set, and also to tell you my reaction to what I've heard so far, which is most of it, because I played 4 CDs here, and just about everything. In a couple of cases I bounced around a little bit, just to get an idea. And what I really like about this set is it also comes with a book. And it's a nice hardcover book. And I made a little video at home where I'll show you the contents. So the book is really nice, very nice presentation. A lot of great photos, obviously, starting with that. You can see like representation of the album. As you can see here, the inner sleeve. Poster. The 2 different cards that came inside the album. This is a really nice bunch of notations from John to Crawdaddy, I believe, and explains a lot of things. Explains too about the song "How Do You Sleep." And every song is individually taken. Like here you have the Imagine song, and all kinds of quotes from John and Yoko about each song, taken from a lot of different sources. And this explains a lot of the nonsense going out there these days about saying this song is anti-religion and so on. And John explains that he meant denominations. When he says no religion, he means no separating denominations. He's actually a very spiritual guy, he says. And of course, among the songs that are covered here in the notes is the song that's very, very controversial among Beatles fans, "How Do You Sleep?", which was a swipe at Paul McCartney in response to some songs that John felt were about him on his Ram album. So what I really like about this is even people, McCartney, real diehards who have a problem with this song, all of these notes and quotes from John, which go on here for a couple of pages, you got George helping him out there, really explain precisely what he was getting at and talking about how he felt about the song at the time, and also how he felt about it after the fact. So every quote that you can think of from John, every description, and some ones I hadn't heard before, are all here. So I think it puts the song in a better context. And you got tape boxes, notes. So as I say, every song is covered here. A lot of good pictures to savor. I don't really want to go through the entire book, but just to give a little idea here, these are postcards that Elliot Mintz received from John over the years. I have a nice Elliot Mintz interview. You can see how the ultimate mixes in 5.1 were mapped out. So, really good book. I think this is an added treasure here, because it really does cover every detail you could want to know about the making of the album and every song. From, as I say, culled from many, many quotes. Okay, so there you have it. That's really, really nice, and a nice bonus to getting this particular edition here. I'm going to show you the audio now. It comes in this nice packaging. And by the way, I should say I like that this whole thing is done kind of like on a 10-inch size. It's not done as a 12-inch, not overwhelming. You know, it's a nice, more compact size. Anyway, you got all the contents there, and this opens up to reveal. First, we have the 2 Blu-rays there in the pockets. And over here, we have the 4 compact discs. So it's nice the way this fits in there. Now, to give you an idea of this, I will say the sound on the proper album is just amazing. I have to tell you, I read that it was really good. It's done by Paul Hicks. I didn't know how great it was. I heard it was really good, but until I played it, I've never enjoyed this album more. I've had this album various incarnations over the years, and I've never heard it sound better than this. The actual CD1, the Imagine album with the remix in stereo, is the best I've ever heard it. And every song comes alive. And what I like about it is it doesn't compromise the original album, you see. These days, a lot of people are worried about what they call the CD loudness wars. And I just want to mention Giles Martin a little bit, though I generally like what Giles Martin has done with a lot of the Beatles remixes and remasters. The thing is, a lot of people are saying that they feel that he actually kind of had too much loudness, that it was a little too much of everything all competing for the same big wall of sound. This isn't like that at all. While it's all clear, I mean, you're going to hear John Lennon's vocals better, more clearly, more enunciating things than you've heard before, up front and center. You're going to also hear the instruments, a lot of nuances that are a lot louder, more vibrant to you and clear. The instruments come alive, the music. And everything's just more sparkling and wonderful without compromising anything. And this was done under the supervision of Yoko Ono. I think they did a good job. Now, I want to make some observations about the actual album itself proper, listening to like this with this new remix. I would say that something like, say, I Don't Want to Be a Soldier, Mama, I Don't Want to Die, as it's listed here. A lot of times you hear from some fans that it's not really one of their favorite tracks. It's probably one of the weaker tracks on the album, if anything. However, even if you don't really love the song, this particular version, all the instrumentation leaps out at you in such a way that even if you're not a fan of the song, I think you'll find something here to enjoy in the overall sound of it. At least that was the case with me. So I really enjoyed that. That stuck out for me. Stuff here like, for example, on How Do You Sleep? The part in How Do You Sleep where they have that kind of rattlesnake effect, I've never heard it so pronounced and clear. It really accentuates the song, giving you that nasty feel that it was intended to have. Give Me Some Truth. For whatever reason, maybe it's just my ears, you let me know what you think when you hear it. For some reason, Give Me Some Truth was a little disappointing, though. I didn't think it really had that same immediacy and vibrant nature to John's voice. It didn't really come out stronger. It still felt a little more like the older version. It didn't seem that different to me on my first listen of it. Although I gotta say, the song Give Me Some Truth, like everything else here, is repeated elsewhere. And when you have something like what they call here, say, the raw studio mixes, then you hear the voice really loud. So, although on the album proper itself, you might not hear Give Me Some Truth sounding that different, it does sound really upfront and clear on the what they call the raw studio mix. Now, the Blu-rays here have 5.1 stereo, the ones I have not listened to. 5.1 stereo, and in addition to the album itself, you got the singles like Power to the People, which sounds really vibrant no matter whether you listen to it in plain CD or otherwise. Well, Baby, Please Don't Go, which we know really good as basically a live thing that John did. But I don't think I remember hearing this particular version. It sounds like a studio version very often. But to me, it was kind of fresh here and almost like new. Then you have God Save Us, which is great. John does some vocals on it. This one in particular had on the Blu-ray first disc, has Bill Elliott doing the vocal of God Save Us. For those who don't know, there was a magazine called Oz, and John and Yoko did some songs for Oz in the magazine. They changed it to God Save Us, but the original version is God Save Oz, O-Z, and that has a John Lennon vocal here on it. Do the Oz is also represented on here, which I think was already included in really nice quality on as a bonus track on, might have been John Lennon Plastico No Band CD in the 2000s. But it really sounds great here. It's kind of like a really bizarre, wild version of Do the Hokey Pokey. Yoko figures prominently on that one, and John and Yoko going wild. I really enjoy that version. But getting back to, well, first we'll do the Blu-rays, then we'll get back to the CDs. Again, I wish I could tell you firsthand, haven't heard them, but I haven't heard the Blu-rays. There's also the quadraphonic mix. Here it's called Quadrasonic 4.0, the whole album. I've never had a chance to hear that. It was done as a quad mix when the album was released in 1971 also, was another version that you could get. And the outtakes here also on the Blu-ray disc have 5.1. You have all the outtakes, all the demos, and the proper album and the singles, all the extras, everything done on the Blu-ray disc 1 and 2, 5.1 stereo. But since I've only listened to the CDs, that's what I'm going to mainly talk about. The singles and extras on the first CD are, as I said, Power to the People, which sounds vibrant, God Save Oz, Do the Oz, God Save Us, U.S., Well, Baby Please Don't Go, and also a version of Happy Christmas, War Is Over that is included on the second proper CD here. It's called an alternate mix. It's the version that I really like hearing before they mixed in the Harlem Community Choir with the children. It's just John and Yoko, kind of stripped down, just the two of them singing it, which I really am glad is included here. I've always liked that version. We have album outtakes here on CD2. It just gets so much, folks. You got it. If you love this album as much as I do, there's so much stuff here to enjoy. CD2 has Imagine, strings only. A Jealous Guy, just the piano, bass, and drums. Oh My Love, just vocals. The song How, strings only. And of course, like I said, various takes. There's too many specific takes to name. But this demo of Imagine, different takes of Imagine, Crippled Inside, Jealous Guy, different takes. It's so hard. On and on we go. Now we have CD3 extended album versions. Wow, different takes that go on a little bit longer, and the clarity just out of this world. I've heard these extended album versions where you can hear a little instruction and talking and dialogue before, and then the album take the way we know it from the record itself, and then sometimes a little bit of talking after it. So it's extended, and outtakes for all of those too. I know if it sounds confusing, believe me, it is. You just have to get this. I want to mention CD4, Imagine the Evolution documentary. What that is every song from the album, but it has studio dialogue, a lot of talking and explaining and working parts out and things like that. Some of this audio I heard on the 1988 Imagine John Lennon release, the movie, theatrical film. But here it's like listening to some of that without the visuals. But a lot of it's stuff I haven't heard before. A lot of it's stuff you don't know. One thing I like that they included here was when they do the song It's So Hard, you'll have King Curtis, the guy who played the saxophone on there, working his part out with John, and they're trying to get the saxophone right in there. Little touches like that are extras that are really worth having. And so much to drink in, so much to take in. I mean, in like a day, I've gone through everything pretty much, but bounced around here and there, so there's a lot that I have to listen to in full. So the Evolution documentary on CD4, really great. Look, this is worth having for any serious fan. This really makes me realize that of all John's albums, Imagine may be the best. I don't want to really get into too much debate. I mean, Plastic Ono Band is a masterpiece too. But in some ways, Imagine is really his shining album, I think. Yeah, and I can't really complain about anything in this set. If I was going to bring up one thing that I'm kind of wishing would have been, is that they could have also included the two films in here, the two movies. One of them is the 1972 Imagine film, which is basically the kind of like promo films for all the songs. I wish that movie was included in here. And also, Give Me Some Truth, which is more or less a documentary with a lot of in-studio footage shot on film. Those are available elsewhere. You can get a Blu-ray or a DVD of those. I think they come packaged together on the Blu-ray. You can get Gimme Some Truth and the Imagine 72 film together. But to have them in here as part of the collection for the Ultimate Edition would have been even better, but it's a small quibble. Anyway, folks, you got to get this if you love the album. I can't rave about it enough. Sound is out of this world. The clarity of it, without compromising the original album at all. I think everybody who likes it, the album, is going to go crazy for this. So, thanks everybody for your time and for watching.